So we're very happy to be here. I just want to quickly introduce the people in the back that are all on the Valley Service Council and made this possible today. So our first booth over there, we got Maggie and Catherine and Liz from Griffin Hospital. And then we have Liz and Kathleen from Team. We got the girls from the Naugatuck Valley Health District. We have Amanda and Gabriella. And then at the next table we have MD, and Michelle is taping for us, and they are your community cares. And someone came and I have to see. The Kennedy Center. Thank you for being here. And then we have Virginia and Keisha who are giving out your whistles. So go around. And they are with the Area Agency on Aging, as well as Beth Kidder. Yeah. Who signed you in? And then we have Mary Jane, or fondly known as MJ, from VH Care, the Cherish program. Yeah. And my name is Kim Bertrude. I'm a community liaison with, hold on, because it's quite a name. Home Care Plus, Community Healthcare and Hospice, part of the Yale Health System. It's less than a month into the merger, so I apologize. We were visiting Nurse Association, and we just became part of Yale. So, and I have the pleasure of introducing one of the wonderful people from our hospice department, and someone I like to call a friend as well. She's an amazing speaker. And just give me a few minutes, because when I asked for her bio, I was so impressed that I have to read some of it. I'll try not to. It won't be boring, trust me. So this is Debbie Paulsick. Debbie is a licensed marriage and family therapist. She's a certified analogist. I'll have her explain what that is, because I don't know. She is a hospice bereavement coordinator for Home Care Plus Community Healthcare and Hospice. In May of this year, she presented at the New England Home Care and Hospice Conference, and in 2021, she was the closing keynote speaker for the 2021 Hospice and Palliative Care Summit for the Connecticut Association of Healthcare at Home. She is a professional support group leader. In 2022, her article, Grief Amplified, Mourning Interrupted, Mourning COVID-19, was featured in Trauma Matters Summer 2020 COVID-19 edition, a publication of the Connecticut Women's Consortium. In 2019, she was quoted in a grief article for the Washington Post. She's been on CBS Radio. It goes on and on and on. And in 2013, she published a reflective article, Grieving Behind the Badge, We Are the First Responders, for a publication from a reflection of the Sandy Hook tragedy. Debbie was a North Haven police officer for how many years? 25 years, one of the first women police officers. Why I had to tell you her background, she's very impressive. And she's a hell of a lot of fun. So, without any further ado, I introduce to you Debbie Paulson. Thank you so much. Would you do me a favor? Would you be so kind to flip around the audience and just hand one of these out here and there? We're going to start off with a little game. So as Kim is walking around,
I'll reintroduce myself, Debbie Quazig. I am the bereavement coordinator for Home Care Plus, Community Health Care and Hospice. Our hospice program is 5 years old. I've been with the hospice program since its inception, 6 years ago. I just had my 6th anniversary. Yeah. And, we have an amazing team. Uh-oh, my batteries are dying. Where's my Energizer Bunny? I want to introduce to you my mascot. This is Peter. Yes, you are seeing a pink elephant in the room. The reason why Peter is here is he comes around with me for 2 reasons. He brings joy. He brings smiles everywhere he goes. I bring him to these types of presentations to bring smiles. And he is available for photo ops later on, if you'd like to have a photo op. He was seen playing a grand piano in New Haven at one presentation. That was pretty cool. I also have him at other presentations where the actual pink elephant in the room, which is a secret, is very present. So today he's just here for joy. So Kim just handed out a few things. So this is part of my coming out of COVID survival kit. So let's start off with, who has the toothpick? Who's got the toothpick?
Has an umbrella on it.
It has an umbrella on it, the pretty toothpick. Okay, the toothpick is to remind you to pick the good qualities in everyone, including yourself. Think about that. Who has the rubber band? The rubber band man. Rubber band man is to remind you to be flexible. Things may not always go the way you want, but it can be worked out. The Band-Aid. Who's got the Band-Aid? To remind you to heal hurt feelings, either yours or someone else's. Who has the eraser? The eraser is to remind you everyone makes mistakes. And that's okay, because we learn by our errors, don't we? Who's got the candy kiss? Candy kiss is in the back to remind you everyone needs a hug or a compliment every day, don't we? And you can always hug yourself too if you wrap your arms around yourself. Who's got the mint? The mint, and you have a double one actually. You've got twins in there. They're the peppermint puffs. Those are my mom's favorite. The mint is to remind you that you are worth a mint to those who love and care for you. Bubble gum. Who's got the bubble gum? And please do not chew on it. It will break your teeth. It's pretty stale. But it will remind you to stick with it and you can accomplish anything. And the pencil, who has the pencil? And the pencil is to remind you to list your blessings every day. And lastly, who has the tea bag? The tea bag's over here to remind you to take time to relax daily and go over that list of blessings. So there you go. There's your coming out of COVID survival kit. Kim says we're going to have some fun today, and oh, we are. Because what are we coming out of? We're coming out of COVID, and we're celebrating that today. And what you see here is you see my suitcase. And you know, it's a pretty sizable one. It's probably the only size suitcase you can get on an airplane nowadays, because I used to have one that was really big. Remember back in the day, you could carry the big one, almost like a steamer trunk, and not get charged for it? Well, because of COVID, this thing is full, isn't it? We are lugging around a suitcase full of stuff because of the way we've had to adapt to COVID. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to turn this in. This is going back. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce it to something manageable. We have a stylish tote for the ladies. Okay, now ladies, you can handle that, right? You can carry that anywhere you want, that stylish tote. And for the gents, we have a nice backpack. backpack. How about that? So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce all that stuff that we've been carrying throughout COVID into something more manageable. Who's up for that? Yay. Do I hear yay? Yeah. Okay, I like this crowd. All right. So there are six things. This microphone's getting a little wonky. 6 things that we're going to put in our little packs. Some of them are actual things. Others are just ideas. Number 1 is patience. Boy, oh boy, through COVID, we have learned patience, haven't we? We've had to learn to be patient with ourselves, with others, and life in general. Where's your patience level now, ladies and gentlemen? 1 is you have no patience. 5 is you've got patience. Where are you? 3. 3 is a healthy amount. Anybody else? 2. You know, on any given day, it fluctuates, doesn't it? Because we've been on a marathon. Okay, this COVID thing was not a sprint. It has been a marathon. And how do you run a marathon? Slow and steady. Slow and steady. You know, and you know what? For the last 2.5 years, we've gone slow and steady. We're here, aren't we? We are here. So congratulate yourself on getting through this marathon. Okay. Somebody once told me, well, you know, you look at a big project and if it's overwhelming, how do you attack it? They say, how do you eat an elephant? Not with Peter in the room, you can't say stuff like that. They say 1 bite at a time, but how about a hippopotamus? You know, for Peter's sake. Number 2, humility. Something I learned years ago as a caregiver, and it was after I was a caregiver, that, you know, I learned after the fact that I couldn't do things by myself. I couldn't go it alone. You know, when, my husband died 14.5 years ago at the age of 50 from Huntington's disease. And that's what got me from police work into bereavement work. You know, learning to live again, you know, after the death of my beloved. And so everything I do honors him, honors his memory. And I wasn't a good caregiver because I didn't ask for help. I thought I could do it myself. Well, now I stand here telling you, ask for help. Okay? And I'm going to give you some examples. All right. Who thinks that they can catch this ball? Who thinks they can catch this? Whether I throw it or bounce it? Well, it doesn't bounce too bad. You can do it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Think about who's a UConn basketball fan?
Yay!
Who's any kind of basketball fan? How do basketball teams work? Teamwork, right? They pass the ball. Pass the ball. They don't win by doing things alone, do they? They pass the ball around until they get the opportunity to sink the basket. Right? Teamwork. Same thing with volleyball. Let's play with this side of the room. Who can catch this? Oh, you got that look on your face. Here you go. Does a volleyball player play alone? No. What do? They tip it, they pass it. Feel free, go for it. Do you remember playing hot potato when you were a kid? Teamwork. Teamwork means you don't have to face it alone. Okay? You can be humble enough to share. Okay? Work together because then things can get done. Just make sure I pick it up before I leave. Anybody know what this is? This is a relay baton. Back in the day, in my youth, I ran track. I was on a relay team. Okay? How do relays work? Does one person run the race? No. The baton is passed. The baton is passed from person to person. The baton is passed. There you go. Not alone. With help, the race is run. The race is won. Okay? Good job, everybody. See? Excellent. You don't have to do it alone. All you need to do is ask for help. And as a therapist, I used to tell my clients, all you need to do is open the door, because there will be somebody on the other side willing to help. But you need to open that door. You need to make the first step. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You know, I know it now. So when I ran support groups, I was able to convey that information. I may not have known it, but I learned it. Okay, so others can benefit. Number 3. Ooh, this is a good one. Food. There's a protein bar. Healthy food. An apple. Healthy. No junk up here. That's behind the podium. A tea bag. Okay, nice cup of tea. This happens to be iced tea because it is summertime. And it's an insulated cup. And a nice blanket. I look very coordinated, don't I? A nice blanket. So what do I do with food, tea, and a blanket? Well, I take care of myself. So what I can do is I can sit down and I can read a book. Because that's how we take care of ourselves, don't we? We nourish ourselves with good stuff, right? We nourish our bodies with good food. We nourish our minds by being in the moment, by settling down, okay? Enjoying the moment, enjoying some quiet. Perhaps reading a favorite book. This one happens to be the Book of Joy, you know, and it's a lovely, lovely book. I've heard it on audio probably 6 times, and each time I listen to it, I learn something new, and it fills my soul. It fills my soul lovely, really, really wonderfully. So how does that sound so far? Okay, here's another thing you can do, and you don't even have to leave your seat. Close your eyes for a moment, and then I'm going to take you to a place that is going to soothe your soul. What I'd like you to do is think of a happy place. This happy place is somewhere that you may have been, somewhere you want to go, or a fantasy place. This happy place is somewhere in your mind. Think about what you can see in that happy place. Think about what you can hear in that happy place. Think about what you can touch. Think about what you can taste. Think about what you can smell. Many people will go to the beach. You know, I have a happy place in my backyard where I have a hammock. And oh my goodness, on a lovely day like today, the hammock's under the trees, the shade of the trees are keeping me cool. I can look up and I can see the blue sky with puffy clouds. I can hear the birds singing in my backyard. My gosh, there must be about 12 different varieties of birds in my backyard. I'm not usually tasting anything unless I have some lemonade with me or some iced tea. But I can certainly feel, the breeze that may be rustling through the trees. So think about your happy place. Does it put a smile on your face? Does it make you calm? Does it make you want to leave this room and go? Well, you can after the program, or after the ice cream. But the happy place is only as far as you need it to be. As far as 30 seconds to a minute can be as you close your eyes. And it's a great therapeutic technique. Number 4, a doodle pad. A doodle pad, a journal, anything that you could write on. You could take a pencil, you could take a pen, you can paint on any type of media. Who likes to journal? Who likes to doodle? Do you remember what you used to do during meetings when you were working? What you doodle when you were bored? Or when you were in high school or college or somewhere? If somebody's bored, you're even on a napkin, you find yourself doodling, because it's like, when is this meeting gonna end? You know, you'd be making flowers, almost like those little spirographical things. Everybody, there's a lot of heads that are bobbing. Doodling is, you know, it's wonderful. The thing about journaling too is sometimes people have a lot of anxiety and, you know, they may be ruminating about things. If you've ever had a problem sleeping at night and something is like churning in your mind, what I have often suggested to my clients is keep a pen and paper by your bedside, because whatever's churning inside of there needs to come out. Just write it down, because once it's out, your mind will be settled. You know, it might be, oh, I have to cook for tomorrow, I have to do this, I have to do that. Write it down, get it out of your head. Get it out of your head and let it settle down. So doodling is wonderful. Some people like to paint. Some people like art. You know, whatever you like to do. Okay, I have another prompt for this one, for forgiveness. Who would like to hold 2 bottles of water for me? Not 1, but 2. Ooh, we have a lady that's really challenged. Okay, what I'd like you to do, thank you for doing this, is take 1 bottle in each hand. Now I'd like you to extend your arms. Okay? Hold it. No, don't hold. Don't help her. And just let me know when you're tired enough. Okay. Keep holding it. Or should she say uncle when she's ready? How's it feeling? Okay, now turn your hands this way. Okay, up, straight up like this. There we go. Okay, stand up. Please, Simon says. Please, stand up.
To make this even worse.
Okay, straight up.
Never volunteer again.
Straight up. There we go. Hold on. Okay, so we're talking about forgiveness. Did you feel at any time during COVID that you felt a lot of resentment? You know, this is good, isn't it? You know, we have pent up resentment, and that resentment churns at us and churns at us. And you know, she may be stronger than I think she is, because she's already, you know, going past the time I could have done this. Okay, do you feel heaviness? A little bit. Should we give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes? What do you think? How long do you think you can last? But you feel the pressure? Do you feel that it is weighing on you? That's what bitterness and resentment do to you. It weighs on you. It weighs on you, doesn't it? And the longer you hold on to it, the more it becomes uncomfortable. Right? So, whenever you're ready, and tuck your feet in, everybody, drop them. Shake your arms. How do your arms feel now? Okay. Does it feel any different without the bottles? Do you feel free? Without bitterness and resentment, there's a freedom. Okay? There's a freedom. So think about that. That's just a seed to be planted. Okay? Thank goodness they're plastic. Oh, I wouldn't have done that. Nor weighted things at all. But when you think about it, you know, that's a good mental thing to think about. Or take a couple of soup cans and just hold them and feel that weight. And, you know, resentment and bitterness often does not affect another person. It affects you, the one that is bitter against somebody else. Once you drop that, you're free. You know, you're lighter. Okay? Your luggage becomes lighter. Think about that. So, are we ready for number 6? Because I'm going to stay on time here. I'm actually doing really good. So you guys can have your little treats. Those of you who are diabetic, maybe not. I'm sure there's something else for you. The last one is humor. Humor. Who cannot get through life without humor? As I looked around this room, how many people have not smiled or chuckled at all during my presentation? Raise your hand. Is that what, did he just raise his hand? That was a setup, so thank you. I got everyone to smile now. Okay? Humor. Okay, humor. But be careful because you know when you're in the crowd, it's very easy to get picked on. So thank you for taking one for the team. Give it an hand. Think of a funny moment in your life. I'll tell you one. My early days of having grief brain, and I call it grief brain after my husband died, and that's when you get kind of mindless. You know, your mind is just so occupied, and so much is going on. You're sad. You don't know how to navigate life. I was looking for the toaster in my pantry. Well, it wasn't in the pantry. Lo and behold, when I went to my refrigerator to get some milk, guess what I found? The toaster. You can't make this stuff up, right? And I'll never forget the time, it was after my father died, that I was making a tray of sausage and peppers, right? Figuring, okay, people are going to be coming over, blah, blah, blah. I have this foil tray of sausage and peppers. I take it out of the oven. Well, it creases. It creases a lot. And so what happens? Whatever was in the pan is now dripping on the floor. And I'm watching this river go down my floor, take a right, take a left. And at that time, clearly I found out my house was not level. What could I do? I just laughed. You know, my father died. I'm trying to keep myself busy. And this happened. Now it's a funny story. I cried first, then I laughed because, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. So, humor. Who would like to share a funny story? There's got to be one out in the crowd. I'm going to play Phil Donahue. Remember him? Who would like to share a funny story?
Miss Bev over here.
Oh, Miss Bev.
So the last time I wore these pants, I was giving a presentation to a caregiver group.
Hold on. I've been to your caregiver groups. I've been to caregiver.com.
So the last time I wore these pants, I was giving a presentation. You know, you always get a little nervous when you do that. And I tend to put my hands in my pockets a lot. So I'm standing up on the stage and I'm trying to put my hands in my pocket. And I can't find the pocket. Can't find the pocket. And suddenly I realized I was so nervous, I put my pants on backwards. My pockets were on my rear end instead of here. And that's a typical day in my life. Thank you.
You can't make this stuff up. Okay, we just shared. Who would like to share? Do you have a funny story? Who's got a funny story? Wow. Oh, we got one. Hold on.
I was working at the dealership, and I was working, you know, with like people come in, and you know, I'm at the top desk there. Well, I'm wearing a slip, you know, underneath my skirt. And guess what gave way on the slip? The elastic. So that went right down the ground, you know, on the floor. That was pretty embarrassing. Oh, and then I have another one for you. I'm trying to fix my cell phone. And, you know, everything went black on me. Back on and everything, I changed all the buttons. And I ended up somehow not getting my phone back on. But I was able to dial SOS emergency. And I got the paramedics calling me to see if everything's all right. I said, yeah, I'm fine. It's just my phone.
But do you know how to fix a phone?
Right, yeah. Well, quite wrong. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other funny stories? Like I said, you can't make this stuff up.
Right.
So think about the benefits of laughter. You know, laughter is so good for the soul. It really is great medicine. When was the last time you acted like a kid? All right, You know, I bet you it was not as long ago as you think. When was the last time you were with your best friend or closest friend? Well, mine was only about 10 days ago, okay? And the person that you can do anything with, you can act silly, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to put on a front. I'm seeing some smiles over here. You remember those people in your life that maybe you've known them ever since you were a kid. Maybe you knew them growing up, or maybe they're just friends, you know, from recent years. I've got a couple of girlfriends that when we get together, we talk. And you know, the funny thing is, and I know you're probably going to be able to relate to this, but as you get older, because we forget things, we keep on talking, because if we don't say it, it's gone. Right? And so when we're together, we just keep on talking, and it's not out of disrespect, it's just that we're going to lose it if we don't share it. And we end up laughing at each other anyway. So it's, you know, we may be older on the outside. We may be older on the outside. Maybe it's something here. We may be older on the outside. But on the inside, we are still young. Okay? The book cover may be a little dusty, maybe a little tattered, but boy, oh boy, we've got stories to tell on the inside, don't we? And there's a lot of empty pages that still need to be filled, because as long as we're alive, there are stories to be told and memories to make. Remember that. So, in closing, you ready, Kim? I have a statement to make. I recently read that a 6-year-old laughs 300 times a day. 300 times a day! Can you? My 6-year-old don't. My kid is 6 years old, but doesn't laugh. 300 times a day. Well, you know what? And we adults, only 15 to 100 times a day. So you know what I'm going to do in closing? I'm going to act like I'm 6 again. I'm going to act like I'm 6 again. I've got my bubble machine. I've got my bubble machine. I'm going to spread the wealth. I'm going to make sure I get around. I got the good batteries in here. I tried to do this last time, my last presentation with the regular bubbles. I think they were duds. So I went with the battery operated one this time. I hear her. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this. And on behalf of Home Care Plus Community Health Care and Hospice, the affiliate of Yale Health System, thank you for joining us. And you have a round of applause for Debbie Costa.
And the Valley Senior Services Council all thanks you for coming today. And I think we have some delicious ice cream, so enjoy. Oh, I want to say the ice cream is courtesy of Maggie Sessett, your community nurse, and Doreen, your fearless leader here at the Shelton Senior Center. They donated it, so we appreciate that very much.
Hi, I'm Bev Kidder, and I'm from the Agency on Aging of South Central Connecticut. And I have the wonderful opportunity of being a member of the Valley Senior Service Council. The Valley Senior Service Council is a council of the greater Lower Naugatuck Valley Health and Human Service Council. And about 30 or so years ago, it was determined that we really needed professionals working in the area and consumers working in the area who work with older adults to have their own group to get together, because so many of our problems were unique to the aging population. So we have a wonderful opportunity through the Health and Human Service Council to interact across lifespan with many other agencies that provide a variety of services and identify needs, including healthcare organizations and human service organizations and civic groups and churches. And then we have our own special council, the Valley Senior Service Council. The current president of the council is Liz Layden, who is a nurse at Griffin Hospital, and she's been our leader during COVID. And we're very happy to have such strong leadership in the Valley with this. We're here today for one of our annual events. We were not able to hold it last year because of COVID, so we're very happy to have it back. The Valley Senior Service Council sponsors an education series. We do 4 to 6 presentations throughout the spring, summer, and fall in the lower Naugatuck Valley, and where we bring speakers and panels of speakers to talk on topics of interest to older adults. And frequently, they're hosted at the Shelton Senior Center, which is where we are today. Sometimes they're hosted at Griffin Hospital. And we have also tried it at other senior centers in the region. We are very happy today to thank the town of Shelton for giving us this opportunity to utilize their facility, keep their staff around to work with us. And at the end of today's speaker's presentation, we're also going to have a little ice cream social. Our topic is coming into summer and coming out of COVID, and we are hoping to help all of our participants embrace the notion that there's much to look forward to and much to be happy about, and we've all survived COVID. So you can learn more about the Valley Senior Service Council by going to the website of the Lower Naugatuck Valley Health and Human Service Council, and we have a page in their website that tells you more about the council, the members, our activities, and upcoming events.
Thank you. So today we had Debbie Paulsick speak. She is the bereavement coordinator for Home Care Plus Community Healthcare and Hospice, part of the Yale Health Systems. Debbie's been with the agency since we've started our hospice program 5 years ago. She's just amazing. She's a great speaker, former police officer. I believe she was the first female officer for the town of North Haven. And I thought she'd be a great speaker today because she's fun and energetic. She's been through a lot, the death of her husband through Huntington's disease, and so she is a licensed family therapist. And today she talked about coming out of COVID and how difficult that was, but she also showed us that we had strength and we persevered and came back of it good on the other side. And she did it with a lot of fun things, like blowing bubbles and tell us how to take care of ourselves. And I think everyone here at the Shelton Senior Center had a really good time. So the reason why we had Debbie speak today is we needed a program to kind of start off our season again at the Valley Senior Service Council, which our mission is to educate seniors in the Valley towns and to help them with resources. So we had a little bit of a resource fair here today, and a lot of great places like Griffin and UR Community Cares and Area Agency on Aging. And what we feel is important with the council is that we spread the information, and it's also great for us as professionals to interact with each other, network, see what everyone has to offer, so we can then share those resources on with other people. I was speaking to a woman at my booth, and I'm a medical home care, therapy and skilled nursing, and she was looking for non-medical, but I was able to give her some resources on that. So that's what we do, we help each other out.